Mr. Powell, the Eastern power grid has been experiencing some extreme stress due to what is still now very cold weather, although today's not so bad. Part of the reason the grid has maintained its reliability has been, and I'm getting to the issue of fuel diversity, has been the diversity of fuel sources on the grid. Share with me your perspective on what DOE's role should be to ensure grid reliability. And obviously this comes on the heels of a report and a FERC 5-0 decision yesterday. I think there's a lot of innings left in this game, and I'm just curious on your perspective.
So obviously this has become a pretty contentious topic about whether there is a diversity or a resiliency problem on the grid as it currently stands. I think the reality as it stands today is that we're headed towards a grid dominated by natural gas power generation. And so the question that we have to ask ourselves is that a problem? Most of the modeling says it's not a problem. In this cold snap, for example, this winter, the natural gas system has worked well, and there hasn't been a resiliency problem with the grid. But we can imagine events where an attack on a pipeline or especially a major hub could make that a significant issue, over-reliance on one type of fuel. And we can imagine events where even if there's not a supply disruption, you could have significant price spikes to that fuel source, and that might result in sort of economic pain. And so I think now the discussion is there some other characteristic, diversity or resilience or something like that, that we need to find and define and quantify, and should that be worked into the authority of FERC to ensure that in addition to reliability and affordability, this resiliency characteristic is there as well. We do think that there are ways that we can define and value that resiliency characteristic that would not be overly disruptive to the existing order of the wholesale markets. The wholesale markets have delivered a lot of benefits to the country in terms of reliability and affordability. And so we think that it can be defined in a way, and an added benefit of defining it would be nuclear generators are a particularly resilient power source, and so we think that adding that into the power mix would go a long way to helping support our existing nuclear fleet.